Hi everyone.
Hello everyone.
As you know, if you're following us on Risk Takers Club, we wanted to do a discussion about anxiety. So we've put together a few questions. Hol's going to go through some of our experiences with anxiety. Our aim here, obviously, is to help people who are suffering. We understand that mental health is a really serious issue. We want to know if we can put some answers out there and give some clarity to people, really.
Yeah, help anyone else who's currently struggling with it.
Because obviously, you didn't have a good time with it, did you?
No, I didn't have a good time with it around the end of sixth form, and then it left me about 6 months ago. But all that time it was a bit of a struggle. So we're just doing this so anyone who is currently going through it can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, so I think the best way to start is to obviously let them know what it was like for you.
For me, it was mainly like social anxiety. So it was mainly public places, like trains, restaurants, meeting new people, especially. I think the pressures of that affected me more than anyone else. So, for instance, it got to the point where if I felt like I was constricted in like an environment, I'd really want to either leave or sit right next to the exit. So I remember, like my uni friends will remember, in first year at uni, I would sit at the very front of the lecture theatre. Like I wouldn't sit at the back with everyone else. And they all thought it was just because like I kept saying like, oh, I can't see. I can't see the board. And then I'd say like, I get claustrophobic, and I made loads of excuses so no one would actually ask me, what was actually wrong. So I'd sit at the front, everyone would sit at the back, but yeah, it's just because I wanted to be close to the door. I didn't want to be at the back of the room. If I was at the back of the room, I would have panicked and I wouldn't have been able to stay. And then the fear of actually having to leave the theatre would have been so overwhelming. So yeah, it was really bad.
It's mad that because even when I first met you, I wouldn't have known that you were going through anything. You're good at hiding all these. You're good at hiding it. You're really good at hiding it. So obviously, even when you're hiding it like that, like I always wonder how it actually made you feel. So if you could let them know how did it actually make you feel, because even I'm still intrigued to this day. When I met you the first time, there you are smiling and all that, but you might have been shaking in your boots, really. Was you shaking in your boots?
A little bit. I think. I don't really know. At the start, I didn't know what it was. I think that's the main thing. Like, people were like, oh, you might have low blood pressure. Because it first started, I fainted at work. But it was because I was on some medication at the time, and it made me really nauseous. So I wasn't eating enough that day. So obviously fainted because I just hadn't eaten enough. But I think the fear of fainting in public, because it was in retail, and the fact that everyone was around me, I think that triggered my anxiety. Because after that, then every time that I'd feel anxious and like I was in situations where I thought I could possibly faint in public or something like that, even though it's never ever probably going to happen again, it would completely overwhelm me. Like I wouldn't even be able to think about anything. Like I'd sit there and it would start off like I'd start thinking about it, and it's almost like a demon in your head. It's like someone telling you like, this situation is really like overwhelming, it's really scary, like you should be anxious about this. And then I suddenly start thinking like, oh my god, like I can't get out, like where's the door, it's really hot. And I start getting really hot and I start getting panic, and it wouldn't matter what anyone said. Like even if Gab was like sitting there and he was like, you started holding my hand or something, I'd still be like panicking, and I'd be like looking around like, oh my god, I need to get out. And I'd have to leave, so I'd probably just like, oh, I need to go to the toilet, and I'd go outside. I'd go so lightheaded that I'd almost faint, and I'd have to like have loads of water or calm myself down before I could go like back into the environment. But it never happened before that moment where I fainted at work. Like I've always been very calm, very chilled, confident with speaking to people and meeting new people. But after that, like I didn't socialise as much, just because I had a fear of it happening. And I think that's when you need to realise that you need to do something about it, because it starts to kind of like take over your life.
Yeah. I think we did well with dealing with it when we actually began to approach it and things like that. I think obviously it was a while until you opened up to me about it. But I think together we dealt with it quite well. But personally, I think that you had your own ways of dealing with it. How did you really go about doing that as well?
I think the main thing was probably opening up to you about it, because whenever I like said it, I didn't really say anything to my family, because my mum kind of just thought it was just like a phase. My dad thought it was a phase. My friends didn't really know what it was, and everyone kind of says, oh yeah, I get anxious, but it's like completely different to feeling slightly anxious. Is having anxiety is completely different, because it's like every situation you approach it affects, rather than just feeling anxious before like an exam or something. That's slightly different. That's like short term. But I think the main thing was talking to you about it, because you were so like prompt on researching about it. Like I remember I'd come back from my lecture or something and you'd be there on my laptop like, oh, this is what you need to do, like this will help you. And I think the fact that I spoke about it with him, and if I went out, he would know when I was feeling anxious, and I'd look at him and like he'd know whether to come outside and stuff like that. I think that really helped me. So I think once you start talking to someone, you don't feel as alone, and especially when you're in like environments. Like I remember when we went out for New Year with Nathan now, and I was really anxious then, but he knew that that's what I was like, so I kind of felt more safe. So yeah, I think the main thing is try speak to someone who you trust and who you know won't kind of laugh about it and will take it serious, because it is serious. Like any kind of mental health thing is serious, regardless of how like big or small it is. But yeah, the main thing I think is speak to someone about it, and also try like detach the stigma that you've got to it, because mine was like public places, meeting new people, pressures. So if someone said to me, okay, if you were like, not you actually, because you were quite chilled, like my friends were like, can we go to this restaurant? Like automatically I think, oh my god, like I could faint. No, it's in a public place, like I could actually.
That's true.
But you need to kind of take that stigma away. Like all it is just a place. It's just a restaurant. Like it's probably not going to happen. Your friends are all there, and once you start detaching it from feeling anxious and stop thinking about and focusing on being anxious in that moment, eventually over time it kind of goes. Because like yesterday I went for lunch with the girls, and usually I'd never be able to do that. Like I'd sit there and I'd be getting flustered and I'd have to go to the toilet and everything, but it was completely chill because I just didn't think about it. And it's because it's like away from my memory now. Like I'm sure I could like re-trigger it like easily. If I just went out and started thinking about it, I could get it. But you need to try like detach it.
Yeah, well, I think that's interesting, definitely. And it goes to show really that if you change the way you think, that you can actually, I mean, you know how serious I am about mindset and things like that. And I know how serious mental health is, and I know how people say that it's not as easy as just thinking a different way. But I guess you have to act in a different way as well, which is what you did. And I find it interesting to know that obviously for someone who has suffered from mental health like yourself, you did really well to overcome it, and it just goes to show that if you do really believe that you can overcome it, then you can overcome it. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's a great. It's great to know that you did that. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's weird because looking back, I remember just thinking, oh my god, this is like taking over my life. So, like, I don't want to go out, I don't want to go to places, I just want to stay at home. Like, I didn't want to meet any new people. Like, I didn't meet your friends for a while, like probably about 6 months really. I don't know, it's just really like, but now I think I'm just way more open to doing everything like I always used to be. So it's not like I've always been like this, because I was like the complete opposite. I get on with everyone, like I don't have a problem, you know what I mean? So it kind of just completely takes over your mindset when you're in it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the best thing to do now is give a little advice, possibly, like you were saying to people, reach out to someone you trust or you love. Give people a little bit of advice. You know, someone may be going through something that's similar to you. This whole reason for why we wanted to do this video, literally to be able to help you guys out, because we know how serious of an issue it is when Hol's suffering from it. You know, it hindered her from doing certain things, and we are about, you know, giving people clarity on that. So if you feel like you are going through something similar to Hol, maybe it is a little bit of social anxiety that you're facing, maybe Hol can give you some tips on how to overcome that and where to go if you need advice or who to go to. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think the main thing is to just know that you're not the only person that goes through it. Because I remember I messaged a guy on Facebook who I went to school with in Australia, and he I was always had loads of friends at school, like everything like that, and I remember he was quite quiet. I never really spoke to him that much, but he kept tweeting about how like anxiety and all this stuff about like on Facebook, not tweeting, what's it called? Posting.
Yeah,
Posting on Facebook about all of this that he was going through anxiety. I remember just messaging him because even though, you know, we were completely different people, I'm probably more social, like it can happen to even the most confident of people. So I think the main thing is to just speak about it to someone, and that's harder than it seems sometimes, because there aren't always people you can speak to that you feel like you can speak to, but if not, then there'll be so many people, like friends that you probably don't even know, who are dealing with it. Like I know people at uni who I found out who are dealing with it, and my friends as well, some of my girlfriends as well, they're dealing with it, but it's different types of anxiety. So there's so many, like there's like, mine was just mainly social and like being in public spaces and pressures, but I know people get anxiety over loads of different things, but the symptoms are usually very similar and the ways that you can deal with it are usually very similar. Yeah, I think the main thing is though, slowly training your mind to not focus on it as much, because that is the reason why you tend to panic so much, is because your mind automatically is triggered to think about it when a certain situation happens or you're in a certain situation. And I think the main thing is to try over time just detach that stigma. Like start doing things where you do feel like your comfort zone, but you're either with someone who knows about how you're feeling so you can be open, or you can slowly just take it. I remember like on the train I used to sit there and sometimes I'd panic so much that I'd have to like focus on like the trees going past, and I'd be like, oh my god, there's a tree over there, there's a tree over there, there's a house over there.
Literally divert it to
literally anything. Like anything. I was just like, oh, I wonder how many people live in that house. Like people are probably looking at me like, what is she looking at? But you need to do things that stop you from focusing on it, or else your mind's gonna always focus on it. And then once you start focusing on things, like now I get on a train and it's just like how I used to be, like just a train. So you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, the actual situation's not as bad as it will ever be in your head, and what you think will happen to you, the chances of it happening are so slim. Like when will I probably ever faint again? Like probably never. Apart from after I have needles or something, because I don't like needles. But yeah, that's like it really. I just think that's the main thing. That was what worked for me. But I think it'll be quite individual.
Right. Okay. So if you feel that Hol's advice helped you out, then why not go ahead and use some of the techniques that she's provided. We're going to put some links below in the description, just to where you can get help. I feel that's really important. Obviously this is our first Gab Hol Discuss. If you do like our little spin on things, then let us know. We're open to doing new topics in the future. I think that'll be interesting.
We discuss about a load of things, don't we?
Yeah, so shoot over some suggestions to us if you do like them, and maybe next time I could talk about something. No, I'm joking. But yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks for listening, guys. We hope we helped you out in this short clip. Yeah. Make sure you don't let it defeat you. You're above it.
And you can message me if there's anything that you think that I can help you with, because I'm willing to help anyone who's going through anything like that, because it's more serious than anyone will probably ever know, unless you've probably been through it yourself. So
right, okay, so we'll add all those Instagram, Twitters and Facebooks in, so if you do want to get a Hol or you do want to talk to me, you can go there. Alright guys, see you later.